right, alchemists. Welcome back to another episode of Alchemy Crypto. I'm your host and alchemist, ALcHeMy. All right, welcome. Thanks for jumping back into the site. Remember, nothing I say in this video is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. All right, everybody, welcome in. Thanks for stopping back in. Let's just jump right in. Time of this stream, your Bitcoin is right at 17K. The Brooklyn Project 1262, BNB 292, and the Chosen One 39 cents. All right, guys, if you're hearing my voice, you're early in crypto. Jump over to charts, take a look at market cap. All right, you can see we are sitting at $809 billion, well below the $1 trillion mark that we are accustomed to. This blue line up here is the $3 trillion mark we were at. So one thing I do know for sure is we are closer to the bottom than the top. Alchemists already know. All right. Guys, no paid promos on this channel, never ever. Saturday. Welcome. Saturday, November or December 4th. Sunday. Saturday. Depending on where you are geographically located on the rock. Okay, so shout out to all my West Coast alchemists in Saturday. And it is now Sunday morning, December 4th. Markets are closed. We're seeing a little bit of a pump up in Bitcoin right now. We were a little bit lower earlier, so we're seeing this thing holding right around 17K. Look at fear and greed real quick. Do a quick refresh. I do believe we're still at a 26. Okay. So still sitting at a 26 on the fear and greed index. Let's take a quick look at metals. Gold price is at 1806. The silver ask is 2336. Platinum 1033, and palladium 1948. All right, let's take a look in on oil. The DXY first, 104.5, so taking a breather, coming down a bit. Probably why we're seeing the pump in crypto. Oil taking a breather, 85.5 for a barrel of Brent crude if you are trading oil. Guys, this is how high gas prices could be in the near future with the COVID lockdowns in China easing. Now, psychology of a market cycle, we're going to talk about it. Believe we could be somewhere in here. So, if you are following along, then you're staying in the know. We talk about the macro, oil, DXY, the Fed, gold, silver, all of it, crypto. So, I believe we could be getting very close, if not there already. I don't know. The crystal ball is just not saying, so we'll just keep an eye on it. All right. Is this how the next bull run could end up looking? We are down here chopping sideways. This is someone's prediction, not mine. It would be nice to see $110,000 Bitcoin or 118, wherever that top is they set there. If you measure this move and this move and add that move to where we are now, that would put us right around here for the peak of the next bull run. So we'll see how that plays out and how things unfold. We use MVRV. We've looked at it before. We'll just look at it real quick. You can see when we dipped out of the purple box, we went on the bull run. Again here, we dipped out of the purple box, and that signaled the bottom of the bear. Boom, next bull run. Once again right here, dipped into, or out of the purple box rather, and boom, next bull run. This was the COVID crash, so we can't really count that, even though we almost dipped out of the purple box there. And this is where we are now, right about at the bottom of the purple box. So if history repeats itself, which it doesn't, but they say it rhymes, we could be close to the bottom and ready for the next bull run. We are popping popcorn. We got our suds and our pretzels, and we're watching this thing unfold. Okay. This is previous bear markets. We are this one chopping sideways down here, or this one, or one of these. I think we're this one, this red one. I could be wrong, don't quote me on that. This looks like what we were just seeing. Let's jump over back into the charts and look at first mover Bitcoin real quick. Do a quick reset of the chart, and let's take it to the 1 hour. Okay, so when in doubt, zoom out. We're on the 1 hour right now. We'll zoom out. This is the trading range we are in. So if we go back to the slide we were on, I believe we're this one. So big crash in the works, and I think we're just chopping sideways. So we're just trading in this range right here. We're just doing one of these. We all know what this forms, the bearish rectangle. So will we see this thing break down, or will it bounce again? We're near the top of the POC here, so we are shorting this thing the whole way down. Getting money either way. If you want to learn a trade, jump over to ALcHeMy Crypto CyPhA, and we will show you how to do it. So the bearish pennant we're forming. This is a little bit dated. I made this maybe a week or two ago, so we have progressed a little bit, but I still think there's more pain to go. DCG, Genesis, we'll see what happens there. So we're watching that situation unfold, excuse me. Alright, FTX meltdown likely to spur crypto regulations. Cool digital currency push. That was a cute way of going about it. Well, the way they did it, the way they just basically built this thing up, made it huge, collapsed it, and now they'll use it to push their narrative and put a stranglehold on the exchanges and regulate the way they see fit. That's going to benefit them. They may call all these things securities and lock you guys out. Now, unbelievable. This from John Dean. Senators moving forward with SBF-backed bill after FTX collapse. So, you would think they would say, look, this guy is a sham. He's a fraud. But they're spinning this narrative that, oh, Sammy made a mistake. He didn't know. Which is a bunch of BS, and we all know it. However, they're going to push through his bill because it's what they want, and this is all staged. So he was a major Dem donor, so he's not being investigated, arrested. If the Alchemist tried this, he would have been in cuffs a long time ago. The Alchemists already know. Now they're saying possible $1 billion was funneled to the Democratic Party. That's from Elon, I believe. Don't quote me on it, but I believe he is hinting at that. Now, Fed had his meeting. Next time he meets, he's trying to get inflation under control. He does not want to go down as the Fed who failed to contain inflation, so he will continue to do what he's got to do. I think he's got one more left in him. We'll see. The meeting is coming in December. Now, some Bidenomics, 41% of small businesses can't pay rent this month. The pinch is real. People are feeling the pain at the pumps. They're feeling it in daily essentials. Credit card debt balances jump 15%, highest annual leap in over 20 years as Americans fall deeper into debt. People are maxing out cards, doing what they have to do to survive. The pinch is real. People are feeling the squeeze, and the housing market is crashing, which is a lagging indicator. So this is us here. I am looking to acquire some cheap real estate to flip in the next bull run when they start printing and they pivot and money is cheap and people are borrowing and buying homes. I will be selling up here. Now, so some of JPowell's effects may be working. We'll see. His next meeting is December 13th and 14th. We will follow it closely. We'll be watching. We may stream a piece of it. I don't know. Stay tuned. If you're new, go down, hit subscribe. Please hit the like. Help spread this message far and wide. Elon's also got the Twitter files he's releasing with regards to the Hunter laptop and the suppression that has been going on prior to his arrival at Twitter. So we're going to talk about that later, but right now Willy Woo is an absolute dream. I didn't think this would happen so quick when I first researched Bitcoin 9 years ago. Central banks are acknowledging Bitcoin is a threat to their existence by funding it. Guys, they're spreading FUD all over saying crypto's no good, and it was never Bitcoin anyway. The alchemists already know. Guys, everyone that's been parked on the sidelines, all that institutional money is parked and waiting for regulation. They're going to come out with regulation in this space, and you will see that flood of money come in. Fidelity jumping in, offering Bitcoin and crypto in their trading accounts now. They know what's up. Even though they were funding it so they can own a bunch of it nice and cheap and scare all of retail out, now that they've got their hands on a big piece probably, what they want to do is now let you invest in it. Come buy it with us. Custody it with us. Trust no one. If you read Satoshi's white paper, he clearly states any third party counterparty should be considered a liability. The alchemists already know. Guys, don't listen to what they say. Watch what they do. Here they are. Don't listen to what they say. You got Jamie Dimon, JP Morgan, fudding crypto. It's a Ponzi. Meanwhile, in the background, he's got JPM coin, Onyx coin, crypto wallet trademark approved. So, don't listen to what they say. Watch what they do. The alchemists already know. Alright, now Tether, the 60 billion pound elephant in the room of this crypto crash. We are waiting for Tether to fall. Then we'll see Bitcoin's true value, and we will see amazingly cheap fire sale prices on the ISOs. We're positioned accordingly with a pile of dry powder. We continue to dollar cost average because no one nails the bottom. Nobody's perfect. But we will continue to dollar cost average. That way we have exposure, period. As well as hold on to a big pile of dry powder in case the dip comes. If it comes, great. So we're watching this thing unfold. Shout out to BitBoy trying to expose Tether.
Here's the deal, guys.
And the rug.
Hey guys, welcome to BitBoy Crypto. My name is Ben. Sheriff Ben, they call me now.
Yeah, whatever.
They call me Alex Jones Crypto. We're out here doing investigations. This year,
the point is this: he's down there, and the Tether offices in the Bahamas are empty. They've moved. They're getting out of the heat. They can't take the heat, so they got out of the kitchen. And he's down there trying to stir up the nest, see what's going on. I haven't heard much. I haven't been following him. If you missed him on Upper Echelon, I highly suggest you go over and take a look. It's definitely entertaining. Alright, so CZ, the FUD with Binance is real. I'm not trying to spread it. I just want to bring you the info, guys, not your keys, not your crypto. He says that if an exchange has to move large amounts of crypto, then there's probably something wrong, is what he says. And then he's moving, apparently, large sums of crypto. The auditor required us to send a specific amount to ourselves to show we control the wallet. Well, he just stated if an exchange has to move a large amount of crypto before or after they demonstrate their wallet address, it's a clear sign of problems. So, which is it, CZ? He kind of has his foot in his mouth here with this. No one would ever ask to move $2 billion. They will physically present and ask you to sign a message using the private key of the addresses holding the funds. No requiring to move anything at all. So what is he doing with your Bitcoin, your Ethereum. I know he ain't doing anything with your XRP because he don't hold it. Alchemists already know. Shout out to all the alchemists that are in hot and cold storage. Alright, so people saying their money was stolen from Binance, the alchemists already know. Not your keys, not your crypto. Binance stole my funds, Binance stole my Luna, Binance stole my funds, Binance stole my money, Binance stole my Ethereum. This is out on Reddit. I highly encourage you to do your own research. If you're using Binance, please do not hold any crypto on exchanges. Alchemists already know. Not your keys, not your crypto. Thank you for that, Vanna. Alright. This is not sponsored. I do not own a ledger. I believe the Frenchies that created Ledger fudded XRP back in the day and called it a poop coin, so I will have nothing to do with them because of that. ETHgate, man, this thing is real. You got Gary Gensler, Bill Hinman, Jay Clayton, and Joseph Lubin all conspiring with the Brooklyn Project to create Ethereum and let friends, family, whales invest using multiple wallets, masked email addresses, and they told him, hey, buy as much as you can, because Mr. Hinman's going to have a speech, and he's basically going to call it a commodity and give it a free pass by the SEC, so it won't be subject to any kind of regulation. We can make tons of money, and that's exactly what they did. Investigate these guys, especially this one. He knows what's going on. He should be blowing the whistle over there, but this asshole is not doing a thing. Now, the FTX debacle makes Gary Gensler look bad again. You think? It's making him look bad, indicating secret deals between FTX and the SEC. So what is going on? Guys, I don't believe for a second that he accidentally didn't know what was going on. His little girlfriend's to blame over at Alameda, and she's going to be the fall girl. I don't think so. I think this is all planned, all staged. You telling me that the federal government did not know what was going on? They are tuned in. They're watching. They're testing. They're monitoring closely. They know this thing could eventually cause systemic risk to our greater financial system. At this point, it's not a threat. However, they are not taking their eyes off it. So you can't tell me that the SEC and Gary Gensler and the feds didn't know what was going on. I don't buy it for a second. Now, if you want this investigated, jump over to Crypto Law. Go to change.org. Sign John Dean's petition over there. You got Ripple, Swift, Circle, and JP Morgan developing innovative cross-border payment solutions, says the World Bank. So this is happening. We already know that here's the ISOs. This is the future framework of the financial system that is coming online soon. You can be a part of it. You can invest in these assets cheap and possibly on fire sale if Tether falls and we see this thing go down. We might get some 15-cent XRP, some 5-cent XLM. The ISOs will be highly undervalued as they are right now, but at that point, forget it. It's fire sale. We'll be borrowing the neighbor's truck. The alchemists already know. Guys, they could flip the switch overnight. This thing could happen and go live, and all of a sudden, all the money will flood in once there is clarity. You can be on the right side or the wrong side. The choice is yours. This is how it'll work. These are all the ISOs, the interoperability tokens. The sheep will come into the banks, hand the money. The money will use this to send it across to the other banks to hand it back to the sheep. The alchemists will send it wallet to wallet, peer to peer directly. We are already in the know. When the world wakes up, we will be positioned accordingly. Not financial advice. Big banks, New York Fed start to test digital tokens for wholesale transactions. You've got Citigroup, HSBC, BNY Mellon, one of the oldest banks, Wells Fargo, MasterCard, among the financial giants taking part, guys. So, excuse me, these guys are getting in because they know what's up, just like the alchemists. We've been positioned. We've been continuing to position. We're taking the cream off the tray bag, scraping it into the hodl bag, and putting a little bit aside every trade that we make money on for the dip, if it comes. If we do see 10 to 14K, we will be buying the bottom, heavy. Not financial advice. You got Joe Biden's executive order 14067. We know CBDCs are coming. It's going to replace the dollar with traceable digital currency. The cash could all go away. You need to keep some cash because you ain't going to be able to transact blindly any longer moving forward in the future. So The language in Section 4 makes 14067 the most treacherous act by a sitting president. And I'm going to let a real boss tell you why. Let's listen to Jim Rickards right here.
Biden have dropped on the American people. Kiyosaki is a big admirer of Rickards for his far-sighted insights on the financial issues.
Shout out
The
to
introduction
Jim
of
Rickards.
Central bank digital currency and the March Executive Order 14067 issued by President Biden. Rickards is especially well placed to see what's coming down the pipeline, as someone who has worked on Wall Street and Pennsylvania Avenue for 4 decades as an economist, investment banker, and former CIA insider. The Biden administration has issued Executive Order 14067. But what exactly does it entail?
Well, executive orders, or for that matter, legislation, I guess say you have to read the fine print, and you do, but you have to actually consider the hidden agendas. Like, well, I can read it, anyone can read it, it's a public document, but what's behind it, where they're going with it, and that's really where the urgency comes in. And it's basically an order that accelerates the U.S. movement towards a central bank digital currency, so-called CBDC. These are happening all over the world. Beijing already has one. They're past the prototype stage. They kind of rolled that out during the Winter Olympics last February.
All right, guys.
I believe it or not, Bahamas has a digital currency. There are a few other countries that have already gone in that direction. Europe is the European Central Bank is very far along. The U.S. and the Federal Reserve, because they print the currency, they understood the importance of it. They were watching it, but they were kind of taking their time. Like, hey, we're the biggest payment currency, biggest reserve.
Guys, I got to
currency
talk
in the
over
world.
this so I don't
It's
get a
$1.
copyright.
They want to race into something.
And I'm not going to
and
play the
something.
whole
They were
thing.
Doing a kind of joint venture R&D program with.
In any event, guys, the CBDCs are coming. I suggest you go check out Jim Rickards, and he will tell you all about the landscape of CBDCs and their goods, the good points as well as the negatives, and there's a lot of bad stuff. CBDCs are coming, whether we want them or not, whether we like them or not. That is happening, guys. Alchemists already know. All right, now, here's another map of how this thing is going to work. You can see the tokens, all the interoperability ISO tokens here moving the world's money. This is the framework. This is the concrete and steel. This is the highway of the future financial system. The choice is yours. All right. The DTCC, Depository Trust and Clearing Corp, a clearing operator that says it processed over $2 quadrillion worth of security trades last year, has moved to a distributed ledger technology, DLT, separate pilot program from proof of concept to the development phase following 6 months of testing. So guys, this is happening. It's not if, it's when. The alchemists already know the WEF and their SDG initiative is moving forward. They need this to complete and reach the SDG goals. What are they? Well, we talked about them in a previous video. If you missed it, go back and check it out. They want to solve hunger. They want to solve all the problems of the world through distributed ledger technology. If you missed my video on it with Not Financial Advice, go check it out, or just go watch Not Financial Advice's video on SDGs. You can find him on YouTube at Not Financial Advice. Shout out to him. All right, XRP, the chosen one, coming in 39 cents. Guys, you could go to sleep and wake up and they could flip the switch. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not saying it will happen. I'm just saying it could happen. Let's go. Flip the switch, Klaus. Do it, Klaus. Hold on. We're going to pump it up for you guys. Don't worry. Oh, down here. My bad. Where's the volume on this thing? How come I can never find it? Alright, well, anyway. Guys, I had this cool video for you. Here we go. Flip the switch, Klaus. Just do it. See if I can refresh this and get this thing to play for you guys. You can go to sleep one night and wake up in the morning.
Flip the switch.
And they will flip
Jedes
the switch.
Minwort. XRP.
Guys, they can flip the switch and you wake up to a 2, 3, 4, 5-digit XRP in the span of a week, a month. I can't say, the crystal ball's not saying, but this thing could break out and go wild. Can you afford to not dollar cost average into XRP and the ISOs? All right, guys. So that could be coming. By 2024, at least 50% of the world's population is expected to use digital assets. So, valued at over $9 trillion annually. If you want a piece of that, you better get involved. You can be on the right side of the wrong side of history. The greatest transfer of wealth in human history in our lifetime, in anyone's lifetime, is occurring right now before your eyes. You have Japan Asia Bank Consortium. Banks around the world are onboarding. This is happening. It's not if, it's when. If the derivatives market is run through the XRP ledger, that's $1 to $2 quadrillion market. Divided by the total supply, taking the low estimate and dividing by XRP supply gives you the $10,000 value. We already know, we heard David Schwartz say this thing can't be cheap. We're seeing volume spikes on the ledger, in and out. Maybe not right now, but we've seen them in the past. And we've seen this thing glitching out. So I believe it's been thoroughly vetted, tested, deals have been made, handshakes, papers signed behind closed doors. I believe the world will wake up one day and this thing will be off to the races. The train has left the station. You heard the 43rd Treasurer of the United States, Rosie Rios, tell you that. The train has left the station. She said this back in June. The alchemists already know. We have been positioned accordingly for quite a while now and continuing the dollar cost average into XRP and the ISOs. That's not financial advice. That's just what we are doing. All right. XRP sets all-time high in number of addresses with balances over 1 million. So the whales are loading up. Now I want to talk about public liquidity on the ledger here, guys, because on the exchanges. Now, if you take a look at the liquidity that's out there and what's left on exchanges, this is a little bit dated. This is from July, so several months ago now. If you look at what's out there, you know Ripple is no longer going to be giving this to the exchanges. Whatever's out there is going to dry up. And if they lose this case, either way, I believe it'll take off. But if they lose this case and they get clarity of sorts, let's say they call it a security. Let's just speculate because we like to do that on this channel. So we're just going to go ahead and do so. Let's say they do call it a security. In any event, it's clarity. However, they're going to lock you out and say you need to be an accredited investor to invest in a security. You can't just buy these things. You have to go through the proper channels. We have to get our piece. So this is your chance. And I'm not saying that can happen. I'm not saying it will happen. I'm just speculating that it could happen. So the exchanges will dry up. They may just keep it for themselves and not sell what they have and just say, hey guys, you know what? We're keeping it because we know what it is. We know what it's worth. We know where it's going. So we're not going to share it. We're going to keep whatever we got. We're going to hold on to it. We're not going to let you guys have anymore. It's not for retail. It was never for us. It's the banker's token, guys. The alchemists already know. So here's the amount on some exchanges. You see Coinbase had 10 million. I doubt they still have that. Binance had 10 million. I doubt they still have that. These other guys, Coin One, I don't know. Binance over here, this is, I guess, their Binance US had 10 million, but Binance Global has 494. Kraken with 500 million. I don't know that they still have this. We know there's less than this 45 billion out there, and it's only going to be for on-demand liquidity partners, banks. It only takes one big bank or sovereign wealth fund to smash the order books, and it'll be over, guys. And I have some amazing stuff for you towards the end on that in regards to that. So let's keep moving. Follow the money. The alchemists already know. The whales are moving. They're moving tons of crypto, tons of XRP into cold storage. They already know. We have Swift moving 5 trillion a day, partnered with Accenture. Why is that important? Because if we go back to 2015, you have Swift partnered, Accenture partnered with Ripple and inked the deal in 2015. So Swift and Accenture published joint paper. I don't have the slide. I thought I had the slide. Well, let's just keep moving. WEF, World Economic Forum, white paper on crypto, and they have named XRP as the crypto asset most relevant in the central bank digital currency space. So that is big news. Ripple and Stellar Lumens, the only crypto that is part of the ISO 20022 and can work with the CBDCs, claims the report. So the ISO tokens are going to be big, guys. You better position accordingly. That's not financial advice. Here's XRP in the World Economic Forum's white paper. There's a good chance this thing is settled, and the powers that be, maybe over in Davos, maybe the Fed, maybe they all sat down together and had a big brunch and discussed this thing and came to an agreement and came to some terms that, hey, the Hinman docs never see the light of day, the emails. Number one. Number two, you pay us a fine. Number three, we give you your currency designation. Number four, you hold off until first half of 2023 when all the banks are online and ready to go, and they can cause the great global reset that they keep talking about. It's coming, guys. The alchemists already know. It's not if, it's when. They have real leverage. We have the Hinman emails. So I believe this thing's in the bag. And Gary Gensler is not looking too good right now. If you remember that slide from earlier, he's not looking too good. So now you got BlackRock CEO saying next generation for markets is tokenization. Well, the alchemists already know. We know all assets will become tokenized in the future. So we are positioning accordingly and buying up the framework of this thing. The real estate market will flood in. Bonds, equities, commodities, metals, you name it, insurance, anything you can think of. You want to make your toenails an NFT? Go ahead. It will all become tokenized in the future. Own a piece of your favorite sports team. You know, whatever you can dream up or imagine will and can and will be tokenized in the future. The alchemists already know. Now, we got to talk about the PayPal Mafia and the Ripple Mafia, because a lot of guys in the PayPal Mafia are part of the Ripple Mafia, and these are some powerhouses out of Silicon Valley that have developed some pretty high-end companies like Tesla and SpaceX and PayPal and YouTube, and the list goes on and on and on. If you want to know who and what is involved, just Wikipedia, PayPal Mafia, and then Ripple Mafia, and compare notes. You will see the connection there. So another thing is, you never hear Elon or any of those boys from the PayPal Mafia or the Ripple Mafia talking about XRP publicly. It's like they're keeping it quiet until it's not. They just won't talk about it. So he'll talk about Dogecoin, Elon, and this guy will talk about Bitcoin and that. Will we see this thing hit 589 by the end of the year, bar? I don't know. I doubt it by the end of this year. But by the end of some year, there is no doubt in my mind we will get there. That's not financial advice from Bart Simpson. Will the buyback happen? I don't know. I like Jimmy Valley's 50K, 35, now up to 50K valuation per token. I mean, they bought back gold. I mean, maybe they buy up everything on the exchanges, whatever the exchanges will give them. They strike a deal with Ripple for a piece of the escrow, and maybe they want your XRP from retail too. I mean, we don't have that much in comparison, so I mean, I'd say I have a fat bag, but in the eyes of the Fed, it's probably a little bag. So maybe they want all of retails as well, and they will come out, and that's why we would like to shout out Jimmy Valley and Valho Capital for putting a valuation on them. Now, do you think XRP will become the world reserve currency? Why or why not? Well, it's perfectly positioned to serve as a world currency. It can be held in significant quantities to provide liquidity for foreign exchange reserves, international transactions, and investments, and all other uses throughout a global economy. So, this thing is positioned well. We could see a revaluation of gold and pegged to XRP. So an ounce of gold at 10K. Central banks are loading up. We already know. We could see this thing repeg to gold at a revaluation. If they revaluate gold and say the fair value after all the manipulation by the big boys is pulled out and they put a real, reasonable, true value on gold and peg it to 1 XRP, that could solve the world's debt crisis, the liquidity crisis. All of a sudden, we are good. Will it become a world reserve currency? I don't know. I can't say. The crystal ball's not saying, but I think there's a lot of evidence leaning that way. So we'll just keep watching the situation unfold, guys. All right. You heard David Schwartz say in his tweet, this thing cannot be cheap. The alchemists already know. It was designed for 10K, and we might see 10K. It can't be dirt cheap. Doesn't make sense. So, shout out to Jerry. You can be a wolf, or you can be a sheep. Choice is yours, guys. Do not be a sheep. Don't line up for this thing at 10 bucks. Remember, fortune favors the bold. Are you a wolf or are you a sheep? The choice is yours. Do not be a sheep. Alchemists already know. Alright, now if you want to learn to trade, jump over to ALcHeMy Crypto CyPhA. Click right here, join the Discord. We will get you in the yard, teach you how to trade. We trade by the book. We try to win every trade. Nobody's perfect, but we do alright. We have custom indicators and charts in there. Here's some P&Ls. If you want to learn how to trade and get some free money, jump on over. Here's a short we took. We'll get you in the yard, and we will show you how it's done. Alright, guys. Now, this. Yeah, that's kind of how we do it here in the CyPhA. I like it. Okay, cool. If you want to click on over and get some free crypto and short this market the whole way down, we'll show you how to do it, and you can pick up the ISOs for free. If you see this, I am trading live. I'm always trading in the background. I've always got trades open, but if you see this, I'm live on YouTube trading. Jump in, say what's up, copy trade me, give me some love. All right. This guy, the Saudi Arabians want to join BRICS. This means the petrodollar is going away. Once this occurs, you'll see higher inflation in America. Guys, if this happens, it's going to get real ugly for us. The alchemists already know, so we're positioning accordingly. We have got gold, silver, cash, food, fuel, water, candles, batteries, anything we think we may need to survive 30, 60, 90 days of rolling blackouts or some type of attack or whatever it may be, fuel shortages. Alchemists already know if you attack the petrodollar, we will break out the big guns. Now listen to this with regard to Saudi Arabia and the BRICS.
That they stumbled across in their banks while they're working at some XYZ bank. Have you seen any video of the actual rainbow currency? How long do you think it will take for the cash this?
Alright, real quick, guys. He's talking about the rainbow currency, and it is coming. If you don't know about it, here's a quick look at it. The rainbow currency. These bills are the new bills that are coming out. You can see JFK is on them, some astronauts, some things coming. So let's go back to the BRICS.
And what role do you think
I'm going to talk over this so I don't get a
rainbow
copyright.
currency, will play in this whole entire game?
Okay, so as far as cash disappearing, I think that's going to take a little bit longer than we expect. Simply because it's for a very long time. You know, this is a financial system that the debt-based model, I like to call it, and that's really what it is. It's really just the fractional reserve banking, which has allowed all this cash to be printed, and we haven't taken into account that Saudi Arabia too. When Saudi Arabia, I'm a Saudi citizen. I get information from the Saudi Kingdom. I'm not even joking, on a weekly basis.
Wow.
And, Saudi Arabia, they have already announced publicly and quietly, and they are making the arrangements for OPEC and the Saudi Kingdom to come out and say, hey, America, it's been a nice ride, but we are done with the petrodollar. And when that happens, what people don't understand is that overnight, all nations and governments worldwide start dumping dollars.
Well, that's going to be really bad, guys.
All that money comes back to America, and it creates a surplus, a global surplus of cash and fiat currency also. And debt, and you know, dollar is a unit of debt. So what that's going to do is really completely tank the market and depreciate the currency's value anyways. So as the value of the currency gets weaker, I think this will help facilitate getting rid of the cash, because if it has no value, why the hell would you have it, right?
All right, guys, he talked about a few things there. He talked about the devaluation of the dollar and countries coming off the dollar if OPEC and the BRICS nations start trading oil in something other than the US dollar. Well, then the cash becomes worthless, because Who wants it? There's so much of it because we have a huge surplus, and that's when you see it laying in the streets. In addition to that, that is another way for them to get you off cash and onto CBDCs. So now they can track you, shut off your money if you disagree with their narrative. So this is interesting. If you guys want to check out the full clip, jump over to XRP QFS Team 1 on YouTube and listen to the interview in its entirety. It's like an hour and a half long. I did listen to it. It was very enlightening. And so I try to listen to these things and bring you the meat and potatoes of them. I try to bring you the goods. So let's keep moving. All right, rainbow currency is coming, guys. There's another look at it. If you missed it, I'm going to just try and keep going where we at right here. Okay. BRICS nations, they continue to try and find a way off the dollar. So we know what happens if you mess with the petrodollar. This is what happens. We will break out the big guns, guys. It's not if, it's when. The alchemists already know what happens when and if they are to try this. We will break out the tanks. We'll break out the big guns. Alright, so hopefully this doesn't happen. Some would say it already has begun, that World War III is already underway. We're fighting this proxy war through Ukraine. We're on Russia's doorstep because they are trying to develop a plan to get off of the US dollar, and they're not going to like what happens should they continue this road that they're on. So hopefully we don't have to break out the lasers. You know, we'll continue to pray for peace as always, and hopefully we don't have to break out the big guns and we don't see this thing escalate, because things could go from bad to worse quickly. The alchemists already know we are prepared. We have food, fuel, water, supplies, gold, silver, cash, God's money. You need to have it all. Batteries, candles, whatever you're going to need to survive. Top ramen, feed your family. How are you going to heat it if it's the winter time? Guys, there could be retaliatory strikes. We need to be prepared. We need to be ready for this should it happen. Should the events unfold and things get crazy, you need to be prepared. This is a real text that did go out to a bunch of Hawaiian residents in Hawaii, and it could come into your iPhone in your location. What would you do? Do you have what you need? Can you survive and make it to generational wealth on the other side? The Great Reset is coming, a black swan event. We don't know what it will be. We don't know how it will happen. We saw 9/11 and these things happen, so we know what they're capable of now. We know what they will do. The Pentagon lost a few $1 trillion, and the next thing you know, the building where the computers were held mysteriously gets hit by planes. So Building 3 goes down, Building 7, whatever it was. You guys know the deal. Go watch Loose Change if you missed it. I don't even know it's still up. Guys, we'll just continue to pray for peace, and the alchemists already know. Now, the sorry, if you don't know what that is, I highly advise you to DYOR. Do your own research on it. Central banks are loading up, guys.
News that last quarter alone, central banks bought 399 tons of gold, double the previous record recorded. But there's a catch. Combined, Qatar, Turkey, and Uzbekistan were behind around 25% of purchases, or 100 tons.
They're ready to back the
what
BRICS
about the remaining
nations.
299 tons? They went to a mystery buyer. And if this wasn't enough, private banks and hedge funds have been on a record gold buying spree as well. JP Morgan Chase.
There's a good chance there's a revaluation coming, guys.
Positions in GLD, a major ETF that fluctuates in the price of gold. Most notably, BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager, opened a $160 million call in the ETF. If you don't know, this means that BlackRock needs the price of gold to stay above or climb a certain price by a specific date for the call to be exercised. If not, it becomes worthless. This begs the question, why are these banks, countries, and this mysterious whale loading up on gold? There are two main theories. The first is that historically gold...
Alright guys, so we know the central banks are loading up. You need to be prepared. they may revalue this thing, and gold may be pegged at 10K, and they may peg it to XRP. They may peg it back to the dollar. Who knows? All I know is they bought 400 tons of gold in Q3 of 2022, so they are loading up. And there's the bill also introduced in Congress to put the U.S. back on a gold standard. So something bigger is at play here. You need to be positioned accordingly. Russia keeps trying to develop a mechanism for international crypto payments. They're trying to get off the dollar and trade their oil for things other than the U.S. dollar. This is bad for America. I think that is probably the cause of this war that alchemists already know. We got this, the BlackRock CEO saying the Russia-Ukraine war is to trigger the New World Order. So what are they going to do? A small footprint nuke, take down all systems, reset the system, and the Great Reset will occur. The flip of the switch that we continue to talk about. Right now, we're out of gas. There's no diesel in the ground. The alchemists already know. They're rationing home heating oil in New England. Hopefully it's a mild winter and we get through it and this gets straightened out, but things are not looking good. Now this, Elon Musk says Twitter has interfered in elections prior to him buying it. That's why he bought it. He's sick and tired. Basically, the Hunter Biden laptop story was completely suppressed. We know about the backdoor into Twitter. He bought it and hopefully has closed it. I doubt he's got it open anymore. Zuckerberg met with some three-letter agencies that we won't mention, and they said we need a backdoor in to suppress COVID misinformation, which was a line of BS. What they really were after was the Hunter Biden laptop story. Had that gone out on Facebook and Twitter, people may have voted differently. And now I bet they wish they had. That's alright, guys. The red wave is coming. We all know what's going down. Now this guy, Twitter, not safe under Elon Musk, says former head of trust and safety. This is the same head of trust and safety that suppressed the Hunter Biden laptop story. Twitter has shown itself to not be safe for the past 10 years and has lost users' trust. The past team of trust and safety is a disgrace, so it doesn't have any right to judge what is being done now. They had a chance, but they sold their souls to a court. So now it's in the hands of someone who actually will let freedom ring. This guy has been giving free internet, Starlink, to the Iranians that wanted to protest, to the Ukrainians who need it over there. So Elon says exactly the obvious reality, as longtime users know, is that Twitter has failed in trust and safety for a very long time and has interfered in elections. They absolutely did. You have Trump's guy that went to jail for suppressing the story about Stormy Daniels. This is the exact same thing that they did with the Hunter Biden story. They suppressed information prior to an election, which is election interference. Elon says Twitter 2.0 will be more effective, transparent, and even-handed. So let's go. Shout out to Elon for that. Now, Elon also jumping in the self-custodial wallet market. Would you support a Twitter DEX and self-custodial wallet? The majority saying yes, 58%. So if he does go ahead with that, which he probably will, I believe Elon and the PayPal Ripple Mafia are coming out with a super app. You'll do everything in one app on your Tesla phone. All of it. Pay your bills, browse, tweet, surf, talk, text, pay, whatever you name it. Super app in the works from the PayPal / crypto Ripple Mafia. Now, China moves to ease zero COVID rules after nationwide wave of protests. Guys, they've been protesting over there. Mainstream media won't report on this, but they are fed up. They're tired of being locked down. And can you blame them? We were only locked down for so long, and then they forced people to take the jab. Guys, things are out of control over there, and the government is finally listening. Now, the totalitarian communist regime, the red curtain over there, they have this firewall on the internet. This is a Canadian citizen talking to someone in the red country, and he wants to send this picture, which is some, it's protest propaganda. I sent you a cartoon of Empty Chair by Rebel Pepper, who's, a rebel, which is one of the banned words on the firewall. If you type anything and try and send it through, it automatically gets swept up and blocked. Did you receive it? Well, if you look over here, I sent you a cartoon. Nope, it was blacked out. Did you receive it? No. No. So that's not surprising in itself, right? Because the Communist Party has been doing this for years. You guys all remember this, the most famous photo in history ever. This is the square, and they have suppressed that. Now you have Apple doing the exact opposite of Elon. Elon's trying to give people a voice by giving them free Starlink and letting them protest. Well, you got Hong Kong protesters that are smart and slick, and they're using the airdrop to ingeniously move data to breach China's firewall. That firewall we just talked about. So, what did Apple do? Well, Apple has to speak for their decisions. People are pissed because Apple has their Foxconn iPhone playing in China. And basically, they've come out and turned off airdrop to certain geographical locations. Apple turns off airdrop in certain regions in the red country. So, why? Because of their interest in the Foxconn plant. They want their iPhones. They want business as usual. And they're greedy as F. So F Apple right here. Give us 30% to Coinbase. They stopped all NFT transfers. They want 30% of everything that comes through the door. Coinbase is like, no way. They want a piece, a big piece. They see what's coming down. So, guys, we talked about this yesterday. I'm just going to touch on it real quick, play a quick video. San Francisco will allow police to deploy robots that kill. What? Let's listen real quick.
That police have had for years now. The difference is officers are now able to.
They're opening up Pandora's box, guys. I gotta talk over this so I don't get a copyright. Listen.
Certain high-ranking officers. These robots defuse bombs. They give police a closer look at an active crime scene. And now?
It passes unanimously.
San Francisco's police force will have the ability to use them as potential lethal force options. But that decision wasn't made lightly. We heard passionate arguments and clarifications coming from both sides.
Of course, I don't want any officer to lose their lives, but I think that this is the scenarios that we're using are hypotheticals to bring up fear.
These are not autonomous robots. No one's tapping in. These are trained police officers that would utilize a robot.
A new state law now requires law enforcement to have public discussions when acquiring and utilizing military-grade weapons. That's what happened here, and the plan passed only after an amendment clarifies robots would only be used as a lethal option after the use of alternative force and de-escalation tactics, or if police determine they are not able to subdue the threat safely after evaluating other options.
Only the chief, assistant chief of operations, or deputy chief of special operations may authorize the use of robots as a deadly force option.
Supervisor Walton was one of 3 against the plan. In a statement, he wrote in part, "This is not in line with making changes to address the disproportionate number of..."
Guys, there are robots in San Francisco, killer robots. So if you're up all night thinking about killer robots like me, jump over to my Rain channel. Check it out. You can jump in here and click on some beautiful rain sounds to help ease your mind and let go of the day's stress and fall asleep quick. Alright, I appreciate you guys, alchemists. Thank you for stopping in. I'll leave you with some Joey D. Let's go.
We made it another week, and guess what? We're gonna make it next week too. Why? Because you're fat motherfuckers. You're gonna grab your balls, you're gonna write your goals. You're gonna look in the mirror, you're gonna go, who the fuck is gonna stop me? Who the fuck's gonna stop you? Nobody. The only person that stops you is yourself. You want what they got, you know what I'm saying? And you got to fucking get it. And ain't no way gonna give it to you. We made it another week, and guess what?
Alright, Joey, thank you for that. So, Joey D. Alright, guys, please subscribe, like, comment, turn on the notification bell so you'll be notified when I do the live stream or drop some new content. I am on my way. If you guys do that, it helps me spread this message far and wide by hitting like and subscribe. I would love to have one of these for real on the wall. So, alright, I do appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. Until next time, this is your Alchemist signing off, and I will see you in the next one. still here. What are you waiting for? Go click the buttons. Clicky click.